All right, welcome back to an episode, guys. Well, I know you guys are wondering, what's going on?
In the news. What's going on? What's going on in the news? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on in the news? I don't know, man. When I don't know what to talk about, all I do is put on effects like this. It's not that I don't know what to talk about. It's just I don't know. Yeah, man. I don't know. Anyone know what pickleball is? I don't know what it is. Is this a new thing?
Pickleball? I don't think I ever heard of pickleball before. I heard of the pickleback. Taylor Swift still, we'll see how long this lasts, guys. I mean, I should do I don't wonder if anyone's doing like a countdown to like how long is it going to last. I mean, it's just really embarrassing. I don't know. Just showing her celebrating at the game with her friends. It's like really embarrassing. I don't know. Shouldn't she be getting to the age where it's like, I don't know. This just in. What the fuck is going on in the news, guys?
The fuck is going on? Well, looks like another unfortunate victim of the New York crime wave. You guys have heard of heat waves, so the New York City has a crime wave going on right now. And apparently a New York City man was fatally stabbed by an unhinged stranger while waiting for a bus. And apparently
he was an activist and a poet, guys. Now, normally that would make me hate the guy, but it's not fair that oh my God, what a ridiculous question. Do you feel like there's been an increase in crime? I like when these news people ask dumb questions. Everyone knows that yes, there has been. Do you feel like there's been an increase in crime?
Increase in crime in New York City?
Yes, I think it's been pretty bad lately, and it's happening because the police
No
are afraid
way.
of getting involved nowadays. People do whatever they
Yep.
want.
I feel safe in my neighborhood, but much less so around here, especially Midtown, where I have to come to work.
I'm noticing more
Yeah.
harassment on the street, a general attitude of like, I can do whatever I want.
Things seem a bit more.
Yeah, it's your fault. You probably fucking woke. She looks like a woke idiot. I mean, no offense, but like, it's like these people they do notice it and they will say, yeah, there's definitely more crime. It's definitely worse. But you know what? Defund the police too, because they're bad and white.
Dangerous around
They're all white people too. That's one thing you see all the white cops in New York. I have like I've since 2020, I think I've seen like one white cop, and the rest people might have mistake like a Hispanic guy for white, I guess, or an Asian guy, and that's it. I saw like one out of every cop I see. I don't see like any white cops anymore. And you know what? I'm kind of surprised that these even not white people would want to be cops, like, because like, well, I know why white guys wouldn't be going and signing. Yeah, if you're a white guy, I don't think you're like, sign me up. I want to be a cop. I mean, hey, look, everything's fair. I'm not going to be judged because I'm a white guy or anything. I'm going to be able to, like, uphold the law and everything's hunky-dory. There's a naive idiot going out, signing up to be a cop with no... Some people really are still unaware of the culture war or whatever it's called. How soon before this guy's going to break up with Taylor Swift? I mean, this guy's a big guy. He's a football player. How soon? I don't know. I guess people aren't like me. I see that and I'm annoyed. I mean, any normal person would be like, oh, she's celebrating his win. That's like sweet or whatever. And I'm like, what's she doing? That's overkill. She's so extra. She's so like,
She's so
You
fucking
guys are-
extra. Such an extra bitch. Yeah.
I mean, there are people that are still not really aware of the culture war going on, like the woke everything with. I mean, I know, like as a you know,
Cis het. As a cis male. I've been noticing.
you just kind of notice, like, well, I've been noticing it for a while, not just since 2020, probably since Trump ran, and then, well, even before that, though, there was something going on with, like, it was more like feminism back then, and then that was it, I think. I don't know if I knew any other crazy leftist stuff. I just noticed, like, a feminist thing with, like, the patriarchy, white males, so white males were brought up back then, but then Trump started running, and then it got just, like, uncomfortable. Well, I talked about this a million times, but some people still, I don't know how, but they're just like, you know, I talked to somebody, I don't know, like some people just don't know, older people, like, people you might work with that, I don't know, I'm always so hesitant to talk about real people, so I'm trying to, like, make it general. Yeah, you know, like, you know, people you might work with are, like, you know, people that are, like, I don't know, she's probably my age, though. But she has kids, and she's from this person I'm talking about. Not gonna dox anyone. You know, just, she has kids. I don't know how many or anything. She's from Poland originally. I think it's Poland. I don't, like, she still has an accent, and I'm not sure how long she's been in the country here. I think she went probably to at least, like, you know, get a grad school thing. So maybe she hasn't been here, like, super, I don't know. How can you not be aware? But anyway, so she doesn't really seem that aware. You know, like, I've even mentioned, you know, like, people are just, there's a slant of being far left, and there's an anti-conservative slant. I talked about my family to this lady, and she's like, oh no, you know, New York is it's supposed to be diverse, and, like, she was talking about how it used to be, kind of like not knowing, and, like, so I, you know, talking to this person, I'm not, you know, I just don't get the sense that she gets it. She gets what's going on. And I think she's mentioned some things, but, like, I don't think. Although, you know, I really am starting to think, like, a lot of this can get to you, and it's not even that true. Like, the more you watch somebody like Tim Pool, and, like, somebody that's, like, extreme, like, oh, it's Civil War is coming. You know, like, it's really like, wait, can I do that? Hold on. I'm going to try something here. Oh, there we go. You know, the more you watch stuff that's leaning a certain way, you can just kind of have this attitude that everybody's like what they're talking about. Like, for example, Tim Pool, I don't really watch him work. He's too I don't know what the word is, like, no, not militant, like, hysterical almost. I know it's for, like, okay, there's a few reasons people are like this. There's a whole anti-woke side of the internet now, like, that I started to follow over COVID, the coof, whatever, and you know, I watched those for, like, a while, and I, you know, plus with all I mean, really was a crazy amount of censorship over the pandemic, where it was like, I mean, it was true. It was like literally propaganda all the time. All the time there was censorship. Now, you know, Elon Musk took over Twitter, and all those Twitter files, like, people might write those off if they don't like Elon Musk. That's how it is now, by the way. Like, people, you know, if I have any, like, loyal listeners, except for my one friend, you guys probably know that, yeah, like, people will really only listen if it's their side now. Like, there's no, like, oh, well, this did happen. Like, there's no even, well, I wonder what people that are,
I wonder people that were,
you know, that are really pro, but, like, you know what? All right, here's another thing. Well, yeah, you know what? It's really just the internet. It's like, the more you get offline, like, I've been going out to more, not a lot, but just a little more open mics lately, and, like, kind of trying to just try to get in the mindset that life is happening again or whatever. For a while, I was just like, I think society's done, and I still do think, the stuff I said about the U.S., like, collapsing, I think a lot, like, all of that is true. I was listening to this podcast, this other podcast that was like, this lady saying that we're kind of right now in, like, a bridge between how societies run. Like, we're in a transition period. So she was like, and that's how I think now, actually. It's kind of a better way to think than, oh, it's all collapsing, like I was saying, like, oh, America's down, that, like, it's never going to be the same. And I do think that. I mean, I think we're going down. I don't know if that means we're not number one still, but I kind of think that's probably going to, like, we're going down. And I think NATO is a big part of, I'm not a political, like, I don't even know anything about NATO or, like, the world geopolitics or whatever it's called. But it does kind of seem like the NATO thing, and then Ukraine, like, NATO is all about Ukraine right now. And that's not going good from smarter people than me that I've listened to about it. And, like, the whole, like, every empire right now seems like it's kind of not working. Like, they went all in on the COVID stuff, like censorship and all this stuff, and, like, clamping down, calling everything misinformation. I don't think that's going well. So I think we're kind of just in a transition period to figure out if we can get past that horrible shit that's going on with, like, tyranny. Like, I mean, I don't know how you can deny. I don't know how somebody can act like we weren't being ruled by tyrants for that whole pandemic, and then it just got crazy. You had CNN calling Rogan, like, going right after Rogan. That was so fucking crazy. Like, at the height of Howard Stern's popularity, was CNN going, like, you shouldn't listen to Howard Stern, guys. Don't, because he's dangerous. He's, like, fat. And it's like, that was never, don't you guys admit, I really mean, I know I'm, like, of this generation of thinking the 90s were better. But I really think, and at the time, I really wasn't a fan of PC stuff. Although I wasn't really into Howard Stern either. Like, I wasn't into shock jock stuff, really. But, I mean, now I look back weirdly fondly on the whole PC era, where you had people going after Howard Stern and being like, he's too shocking. Foul, like, bad language is bad. Like, we kind of had, like, it was like we were ruled by conservative families. And the FCC, remember all that stuff? Like, oh, you couldn't swear on television. Janet Jackson showing not really a nipple was a big idea. That was so fucking dumb, by the way. Like, that is one of the dumbest things ever. Like, I do think that our culture is, like, I think our culture now with, like, Cardi B and stuff is at the bottom of, like, decency or whatever. I know I sound like Ben Shapiro or something, but I do think we're at, like, the bottom of, and it's really because, like, there's no creativity in it, and it's just like, my pussy's wet. Like, that's it. There's no, I mean, yeah, they put an acronym, WAP. Like, wow, how, like, that's so hidden. It's like, that's how fucking lame it is. It's so fucking, it's, like, boring. Like, we don't have any nuance. Like, the reason stuff was interesting that was controversial, like, you would have controversy even Madonna, who like was very blatant at some, was pretty blatant at sometimes. Like maybe maybe she was the beginning of like the just blatant sex in your face or whatever, and no nuance to it. But I mean, to be creative, you should have to have some kind of nuance, like some kind of like, it's not just my pussy's wet.
My pussy's wet, pussy's wet, pussy's wet. Yo, my pussy wet, my pussy wet, my pussy wet. Oh, what's she saying there?
Can't really tell what she's saying there. What is that, Can't really tell what that is. But then you had to like, and the conservative parents saying Grand Theft Auto was like gonna make kids run out and steal cars and stuff. And you know what? You know what's funny is like, sometimes I wonder if they were right, because look at all the shootings now. Like, I don't know. Well, they're not doing Grand Theft Auto. Well, you know what? I don't know. This New York shit. But it wasn't Grand Theft Auto. It was woke people that did that. I mean, like telling police they're bad, and it's bad and violent to like arrest people. And I was never a police fan. Like, I was never like, oh, I love cops and that's awesome. I never hated them either. I wasn't like but like telling them that they're bad for doing their job. I mean, imagine if we did that to doctors and stuff. We'd be like, hey, like, whoa, a little aggressive with the healing. It's just hacky. I don't know. What's the deal? What's a little calm down on the healing, just, that's a little violent, the way you grab that person to save them and resuscitate. Like, what if we were like, hey, the way you did CPR in that video was really fucked up. Like, that was so aggressive. You killed them trying to rescue them. Somebody accidentally died. Like, someone tries to do CPR and they die, and then they act like they killed them. That's like probably the next thing. It's gonna. Whoa, calm down with the rescuing. The EMT people are down with EMTs. Okay? Defund hospitals, defund doctors. The way they grab people to like save their life or whatever is like, violently killing them. I mean, so like, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I went way off on a tangent. Yeah, but I do miss that about like the Howard Stern, like, oh, that's so fucking offensive, and he did push. I mean, yeah, he did whatever he could think that was shocking. It like started with like Madonna, and then Howard Stern, and then basically it went up to a peak with shock jock people. I mean, just look up the shit that went on in the shock jock stuff. But like, now it's the opposite, so. I forget what the hell I was even trying to say about this article. Oh, 90s. Man, I don't know. I don't know why I started on that. But yeah, now New York is, I guess, what it used to be. Oh, the race stuff. Hold on. Way people wouldn't be wanting to sign up to be, and then people were not aware woke. I don't know. Maybe I'll think of it. So yeah, this is an activist guy, which I mean, look, those are kind of like the people that, I've seen a few stories with these people that are too naive, and they're like, I'm an activist, and everybody should be let out of prison, and then they get like mugged and killed. This guy was stabbed multiple times in the chest. And here's the thing, these crimes are usually in the weird hours where I don't want to be out, like 4 a.m. If you're I mean, it's not good. It's not good to be in those weird hours, but you can't avoid it sometimes. If you're an activist, ugh, look at this guy. Oh, I'm sorry. I know this guy's, deceased. I don't think anyone, he did so much for the entire city and for his friends. Too bad he's dead. He's really like the epicenter of an entire community that created. I don't think anyone exaggerating when they say he would give the shirt off his back. He was a guy that bent over backwards time and time again. There you go. Carson, who always had a heart for organizing people around a cause, was likely inspired into activism by his parents. He was often the loudest and smartest guy in the room. Well, was he a know-it-all or was he actually smart? That's a big difference. If you're the loudest guy, you're usually not the smartest guy. You're just the know-it-all loudmouth guy. I'm really, you know what? Actually, he was also a published poet. And you guys, well, I'm not sure if you guys know how much, I think I did an episode on how much I hate poetry. He once penned a poem called Anxiety about fears over his own death. I was present once when he literally talked a guy out of mugging him. If he had the opportunity, he may have even lent a hand to the man who took his life. He would probably help out a guy like that. So, like, no lessons were learned here, by the way, by these people that knew him. I wish he didn't look like this. This headline isn't very flattering. The guy stabbed by a suspect was do-gooder, activist and poet. Like the phrase do-gooder. Oh, what are you, some do-gooder? Oh, is this the same story here? October 2. Probably is the same story. Unhinged attacker fatally stabs man in front of girlfriend. Come on. Unhinged attacker fatally stabs man in front of girlfriend near New York City bus stop. What are you looking at? He said. A 32-year-old man stabbed to death. Attacker said, "What are you looking at?" before lunging at him. The suspect, who has not been publicly identified, was acting erratic and knocking over scooters near the B38 bus stop at Lafayette Avenue and Malcolm X Boulevard. So now I'm wondering if this guy was like looking at him like, "Oh, I want to help this guy out. Oh," and then the guy's like, "Wait, yeah, you can't stare at people here." As soon as you start staring at someone, I made this mistake once actually. I was like, just like walking around like not knowing where I was, and I guess I was looking at this guy and I didn't even think about it, and he's like, "You got a problem?" I forget what he said. Something, but he said it in a menacing tone, like, "We got a problem here," something like that. And I was like, "What the fuck?" And I just like walked away fast. People are just like, I don't know, these activists, like, I'm sorry, like, yeah, some people are down on their luck. But some of these people that you think are just homeless and harmless, like, aren't, you know? A lot of them do look like, you know, just some of them are sitting there, just wonder where it all went wrong. Just thinking, what could I have done different? What if I said this to this person and I got an argument with them, but what if instead, what if I did something different? You get yourself up. You get yourself... You ever hear those motivational videos on YouTube and stuff? It's just random speeches, clips, I guess, from random speeches, and it's like, and you get up that mountain. And and you don't, there's no context. It could be anyone talking. I mean, it would make sense if it was someone that did really do something crazy, like climb Mount Everest or something, but I don't know what they're from. And you do get up and you don't say God. Some of them are religious too. And I thought, God was testing me then, and I should have known. Not to question what he puts in front of you. What he puts in front of you is what is going to take you forward, not backward. If you think you're going backward, you might be going forward, but just a more difficult, you're not going to know because it's the Lord's job to know. It's not always a straight path forward. It's always something, sometimes you go around, you try to go around the problem. Sometimes you got to go into the problem. Yeah, it was funny around the pandemic. Like, I kept seeing celebs sells their house in New York. Like all these celebrities sold their houses. It would be like Beyonce or whoever sells their, Lower East Side penthouse, and it would be a bunch of them. I mean, they got out of here. I mean, they're smart because they probably weren't even coming here unless it was like something was going on. Just like basically like a place that they would just crash at, probably. Yeah, you know what? All the migrant stuff, like Adams. This is funny. Why don't you just change the fucking law instead of doing this? Fucking little baby. You know what? This has really made me. I know, like, if you're not here, you probably think there's a giant. Like, everywhere you go, there's, like, migrants. But it really isn't, like... And it made me just realize what, like, little babies these people are, that, like, they talk such a big game. And then they get some migrants, like... I mean, this is a big city. It's not a small... I mean, yeah, they're running out of room or whatever, but, I mean, it's not, like, just like last night, I just walked. I was kind of near where this hotel that they said the migrants were going to. So I just walked up there, and there was like hardly anybody there. I guess it was nighttime, but I did see, this. It looked like there was this bar that used to be a bar, but it was closed, and like there was a ton of them in there, and there was all these like maybe National Guard. I don't know. There was like 10 of those guys just out. Standing outside, but it wasn't like this picture even. Like there was nobody. Again, maybe it's because they weren't like it wasn't a daytime. But I mean, Mayor Adams is just like a little like he's really like like I'm gonna go to the border and like it says here is gonna go to the border and try to talk them out of like what? How's that gonna work? He's gonna just go there and talk to them about it. Don't come, guys, like Kamala Harris tried to do. What are they looking for? I mean, you go to New York, you'll be homeless. I mean, I guess, I don't know what the law is like requiring home for them. Like, I guess, you know what, they probably hear about it. Like, they're around Mexico. They maybe know people that have already gone. And they're like, yeah, come on. I went here and I actually have somewhere to stay. Like, but normally anyone will just, no one's guaranteed anything like that, except for, I guess, these people. I don't really, Yeah, we just had like a ton of flooding on Friday. Like, it kept raining. And they, like, put out they put out a warning, like, I don't know, 11 a.m., 12, maybe noon. And that was, like, when everyone was already left already. And it was like fucking crazy, like certain parts of Brooklyn. And he was like, "Hey, by the way, don't go anywhere." And it's like, yeah, this guy's terrible. This guy's fucking terrible.
Okay, there's a really
disgusting story I randomly saw. It just really sticks out, guys. I don't know what else to tell you guys, but really fucking like really heinous, like depraved story here, guys. I don't know if you guys don't have the stomach for it, that's fine. Fast forward a little bit or something, I don't know. Well, here it is, guys. Taylor Swift. No. See what I did there. So there's it's so fucking gross. Zoologist Adam Britton. I don't know. I never heard of this guy. I just saw this horrible article. This is probably one of the top disgusting. I mean, you know, I gotta give praise to Steve Irwin because he's never, as far as I know, fucked any of the animals or the, you know, dolphins, even the stingray. That's, you know, he didn't try to go after that thing or anything. You know, he just was a big friendly guy, not in that way, but in a normal way. Well, not this guy. Not so for this guy.
Zoologist Adam Britton, guilty of bestiality, animal abuse, possession, child stuff, He's pleaded guilty to dozens of sickening charges, including animal cruelty. Maybe if I read it in this accent.
It's not as, like, disgusting.
Possession of child exploitation material. Darwin crocodile expert Adam Robert Corden Britton. Anybody with full names like that, you gotta watch the fuck out for, bruh. You gotta watch the fuck out for, bruh. Was unmasked as the serial animal abuser in the Northern Territory Supreme Court on Monday. His name's previously been suppressed from the public due to the depravity of his crimes, which threatened his right to a fair trial, according to the NT News.
So I read, I'm not even gonna read some of this. Not because I'm afraid to, you know, get censored. It's just fucking disgusting. So this guy, like, well, I hope he didn't, I don't know if he did it to crocodiles, because I feel like they would kill him. Maybe he didn't want to bother with an animal that would actually attack him. I don't know if I can do this. Anyway, he did stuff to dogs, had a torture room. And like, I read something in here. Have the potential to cause nervous shock, the justice said. The Chief Justice excused sheriff officers and permitted security guards to wait outside the courtroom because they were that disgusting, the details. You know, it's like always kind of, it's really unfortunate that like, it's like all these like, oh, well, he was, you know, these people that, they work with the thing that they're into, you know, like somebody who's a priest that works with, or somebody is a teacher for like, you know, middle school or younger, and then they abuse, they, you know, rape the kids and rape the animals, whatever, you know, standard stuff, you know, and then they do it to the thing that their job is. That's really kind of it's like, because you don't, like, it's almost too obvious. It's like, I guess it's almost the hiding in plain sight, hidden in plain sight thing that makes you just not question it. Because why would you? Now you know what I gotta admit here. That's why. That is hiding in plain sight. Because this guy, you know, he gets 42 dogs of various breeds and ages. Any normal guy that's not an animal, like renowned animal expert, whatever person that goes on TV, I guess. This guy seems like he was a guy who went on TV and stuff. You know, it's like, you know, the dingo ate your baby, more like you fuck the dingo. Now because you get 42 dogs. In 2 years he had 42 dogs. Anybody who wasn't an animal expert, you just go, what the hell's going on there? You'd think he had a dog. You wouldn't go to the sex thing. I think the last thing I would think is the sex angle. And it's funny how it when is the dog Me Too gonna come out, guys? Like what? There's some people out there that, and I've had one on my podcast. I think I might have her again soon, Beverly, that is really into animals and has all these geese and stuff. And I think she's like one of these people that like is more upset at animal abuse. And I guess I'm not. Like, I am upset. It is, don't get me wrong. I actually get grossed out and all that's normal stuff. But like, I mean, reading this stuff, it would be worse to read it about kids. Definitely, like 100%, 1,000%. Like, there's no way that I could say, oh, he got 40. I mean, just imagine, somebody gets 42 dogs, and I don't think he abused all of them. He probably did. I don't know. I don't even want to read that far into to know that, but there's no somebody really said imagine. You know what? I'm gonna start asking people that. Somebody that says that, I just don't believe you because that's crazy to me. Okay, you have a case where a guy, and it doesn't even have to be 42, it could be 12. Okay, a guy gets 15 puppies and does whatever he wants, and I can't even imagine. Probably the stuff this guy did, I wouldn't even be able to think up, in an imaginary scenario. He does mad science experiments on them. I don't know. He does all sorts of H.H. Holmes type stuff. And then you compare it to a guy who gets 15 little kids. Now, you can't really buy unless you're in, I don't know. I guess you can, but let's just say adopt. A guy adopts 15 kids. There's no way I would go, well, obviously I'm more upset about the puppies. There's no, what? I mean, there's just no way. But, I don't know. So I don't see how that's a possible thing to be yeah, that's fine. Or even to go, I'm just more upset about the dogs. Now it is fucked up, I mean, but if you would have a dog fighting ring or a little toddler fighting ring, well, I don't know if they'd be able to fight that much. They get tuckered out pretty soon, pretty quick, but so yeah, I guess that's the thing. This guy was hidden in plain sight. I mean, I don't know what is a way to stop this stuff. I mean, there really is no way, but everybody just comes up with stuff. They're like, oh, stop, no more guns. So that way there's no more shootings. Well, I mean, no, you're going to have those same fucked up people. It's because I was recently thinking, it would be good if we had a way to just know people's IQ that would be in high positions. We just know, we always know their IQ level, their exact number. Anyone who's in a public office. Now, the thing is, this goes against me being for privacy. And I get that. So it's really just a joke thing. I'm not serious about it, but that would help knowing, and they'd probably just lie about it too. I mean, they're politicians, they're whatever these hypothetical people are. They would just lie about it or something. Just recent presidential candidate have lied about their physical health for their personal. Of course, their personal hired doctor is going to say, President Biden is he's the healthiest person. He's dude, he's the 32-year-old guy. He's in the prime of his life right now. And same thing with Trump, oh, he's super, super healthy. That's why he eats all that McDonald's and whatever. No, you're lying. There's no way either guy is, I mean, Trump is clearly out of shape. I mean, yeah, he's more mentally, you have to admit he's more mentally with it. Like, you have to be an idiot to say, Biden's sharp. That was happening, though, when he ran. They were like, he's sharp as ever. Yeah, you're a personal doctor. Oh, yeah, okay. You're hired, like how Hitler had that physician guy that he hired that was just his, like, drug dealer. Yeah, you hired your doctor. Just like Michael Jackson's doctor who gave him all that stuff to when he died or whatever. But yeah, so, and then they'd have the IQ level. I mean, yeah, just show it all the time. Like, we could just be able to look up, and then, like, anybody who has a animal, I don't know if this guy was a vet or anything, but, anybody, I mean, the thing is, like, everybody wants stuff like that for teachers, but we just don't pay them enough. We don't care about teachers at all. We don't care about education. Why would they pay to have all these? Well, they do, I guess, have security checks and stuff. But, I mean, a way to just know. I think it would be, and in the future, I do think this will happen because we just won't have privacy. Not, that's going away. And we're just going to have, except it won't be honest. Again, it'll just be like, oh, he's into conspiracy theories. Put a red flag on his record. But ideally, I mean, I'm for privacy and all that. But if there was a way to just know if somebody was had a psychopath tendency in him like this guy, like, just fucking put that. We should all be screened at least for, like, really antisocial, like, psychopathic stuff. Like, oh, when he was he used to torture animals as a kid. That seems to always be something that every single one of these guys has in their past. I mean, he had child abuse material. I mean, so this guy was both. He was bad in both ways. How did they even know he did stuff that, like, oh, maybe they tested or something. I don't know. Using a carriage service in an offensive manner. I mean, this is fucking just. We really need to go back to the gallows hanging for this type of shit. If you have real evidence, I mean, I guess they found that material on his laptop that he got off the dark web. If you find that on somebody's laptop, although can they plant that on someone's? I don't know. If there was video of this guy doing shit that's on the dark web, we need to just go back to the gallows, just fucking hanging. I mean, we really need to stop this stuff. I did see the story, by the way, of a lady that did get some years in jail for pushing someone on the subway. Or no, it was just like, I'm probably not going to be able to find it now. Well, this is another disgusting story. Sorry, but I do essential work here, so. I really do essential. I talked about this guy before, but ex-ABC News reporter James Gordon Meek sentenced to 6 years in child porn case. Skirts Maxis. So this guy gets 6 years. He's a former ABC News reporter. So, you know why? I think it's because he... this is fucking... Because he just has the material. I think it's just, like, not that much of a sentence if you just have the stuff and you don't actually molest a kid or something. I don't know, but I mean, this just makes you think that it's because he was an ABC person. Fucking piece of This guy, like, how is someone like this? Like, unbelievable. Premiumbeat.com. Ugh. Dude, this guy, like, he's. Can you imagine him trying to go for another producer job after this? Hey guys, how's it going? Hey guys, long time no see. How's it going? How's it going, guys? How's it going? I'm gonna try to look this guy up and see if he's been on a show or something. How's it going? James Gordon Meek here. Not famous for anything recently. I just retired. I don't know. I just haven't really done anything since then. Missing oh, he hid. He like was on hiding after that.
But the truth matters, doesn't it? I mean, that's the bottom line. You know,
Yeah,
we
it
either
is.
have to, we're so accustomed to the government lying, but this was extraordinary. They lied to families whose loved ones made the ultimate sacrifice for you and me. And that is just, I think most people would agree, a disgrace.
Wow. I mean, again, all these people that you think are gonna be like, come off. Like, oh, you're gonna know. No,
But
you're
where
not.
do you put this story in terms of your kind of career, in terms of just difficulty and just and the importance of it to you?
He's talking about
Well,
a government
brother, I'll tell you
cover
what,
up
that's a
and
great question.
conspiracies.
Really good question. You know, I tend to gravitate towards stories where you have people who have suffered great loss because of war, whether it's a soldier or a hostage,
What?
or others, and there is some additional layer of injustice, like doubt, cast upon their lives that
Oh, wow,
prolongs
people
their grief.
People thought he was on hiding because of his like uncovering corruption. Nope.
I think unfairly. And for example, in this instance, we share the revelation that the wife
I mean,
of Sergeant
Tom
David
Hanks could
Johnson,
play this guy.
Maisha
He
Johnson,
looks kind of like a
25-year-old mother of three.
like
Actually, she was pregnant at the time.
bigger Tom Hanks.
Now in Miami, she gets a phone call 24 hours after being informed that there was a gunfight and her husband, LaDavid, was listed missing in action. And the Army tells her that he.
Can you believe that? Anyway, I'm gonna go back to my laptop. God, it's fucking crazy. Hey guys, how's it going? Remember me, ex-ABC News reporter James Gordon Meek? I've just been on the hike because, you know, I was like doing such, I was doing a lot of journalism. People did not like what I was digging into. Anyway, how you guys been doing for the past 6 years that I've not been in prison? All right, so I guess he was sentenced to 6 years, and the penalty was maybe going to be up to 15, maximum of 20, and of course he only gets 6. At least it wasn't 8 months or something. But I mean, these guys really don't get that much time. I mean, it's fucking. I mean, it really makes you wonder, like, everyone around you, like anyone. Can you imagine working with this guy? Anybody that worked with this guy is now going to know this. Like, you'd have PTSD from just working with him. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to try something at the end of this. Just to close out, I'm going to try something, a little bit something here. Invite a guest on real quick. Just going to try a little test out here. Just going to try.
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, hey. Hey, thanks for coming on. I just wanted to do a test reel at the end of the episode here.
Oh yeah, cool. I'm another guy. I'm not the same guy. So yeah, thanks for having me. Man, I actually hate your podcast. It's weird because I'm hearing my voice and it's a little delayed, so I'm gonna have to take this off. Yeah, thanks for having me, even though I hate your podcast. And like, I just wanted to call you out for your racism and like gender phobia or whatever.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't this is supposed to go differently. I don't know what you mean by calling me out. I mean, oh shit. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about there, but you know, I wanted to just have you on to be nice. Like, I wasn't, you know, I know we've had our differences before, but I just was hoping this could be a little quick, maybe humorous ending to the episode. I'm not saying you have to like the podcast or whatever. Just like I was just doing a test. You said you agreed to do it, and I don't even know what you mean by gender phobic. Like, what does that even mean?
I mean, some people like being hateful, and that's not how I roll. Like I'm all about love. You know what I'm saying, son? I just go around. I want to give people love. Like my mom's taught me how to be, and shout out to her. She's dead, and my whole family's dead because they just said they don't like me anymore and didn't even want to be around to know I'm around, so they're gone. But just like do better, you know what I'm saying? Just do better.
All right, again, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what. I mean, yeah, I'm not full of hate. So, I mean, that's crazy about your family. I don't know how that makes sense or anything. I mean, I'm sorry about that. If that was recent or when. To just all die just because they don't want to know about you. I mean, what does that mean? Like what?
Yeah, well, I don't have to get into specifics and shit, but like they were just like, some shit went down. That's all I'll say. That's all I'm gonna say on that. You know what I'm saying? Like just, I do it all for God, You don't have to. That's fine. But your day's gonna come. So but thank you for having me. I gotta go just hit the grind and, see my people. So but thank you. And much love and good luck with the show or whatever. I mean, nobody knows it. Like, no one's heard of you that I told about this. I was like, I'm gonna go on this podcast, but nobody has heard of you or anything. So, but good luck though. Maybe somebody will know who you are one day, but it's not today. So, but thank you. One love.
Okay. Well. Whatever. I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere. I don't know why everybody has to act like, oh, I need listeners and I need people to know about the podcast and know about me. Some people don't understand how stuff grows and takes off. And I don't know. I guess I'll just go. I got a lot to think about now. I mean, that actually hit me pretty hard. So, I guess I'll think about stuff now, and I'll just I guess I'll do better. I'll have those difficult conversations with people and stuff. But thanks for coming on, I guess. But thanks for listening, guys. I hope somebody is. I guess I didn't even think about that. Do you have to have people? I guess you have to have people that listen. I don't know, but thank you, and
Guess that's it for me, guys. Now I wanna die. You know what I'm saying? Life of crime is not worth the time. It's decide if you really want to do this. Take a bite out of crime.
Wasn't that a mascot? I'm gonna take a bite out of crime. I'm like, nobody knows what that is, but I'll figure it out. Hey guys, thank you.